On the 100th anniversary of this tragic voyage, its most legendary retelling returns to the silver screen. You're watching Beyond the Trailers review of Titanic in 3D.
Do not let go of my hand! I'll never let go.
100 years ago, the unthinkable happened as the luxury ocean liner RMS Titanic, on its maiden voyage, struck an iceberg and sank, taking over 1,500 people with her. But what made the disaster even more shocking was that some of the Western world's most prominent businessmen and aristocrats, along with their wives, went down with the ship, including millionaire John Jacob Astor IV, co-owner of Macy's department store Isidore Straus, and U.S. military advisor Major Archibald Butt. I could tell you many more fascinating and tragic facts about the sinking of the Titanic, but it will be hard to capture it as well as James Cameron did back in 1997. At the time, Cameron bet his entire career on the film as the budget grew to $200 million, which at the time was an unthinkable number. While 20th Century Fox executives panicked, they had no choice at that point but to go forward, and the entire industry gleefully awaited the arrival of Cameron's folly. If only! Titanic was an instant success, captivating both audiences and critics. It quickly became the highest-grossing movie of all time, only surpassed 12 years later by another Cameron flick, Avatar. It then went on to win 11 Academy Awards, including Best Director and Best Picture. And while it didn't win any Oscars for acting, it still made stars of its two leads, Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. However, DiCaprio would fight for years to free himself of the heartthrob status given to him by the film, while Cameron's "I'm King of the World" Oscar acceptance speech made him many enemies within the industry. In fact, he didn't work again until Avatar. But with Avatar, Cameron has become the de facto master of 3D, so it stands to reason that as 3D conversions go, Titanic is probably pretty good. Question is if audiences want to go back to his classic tale or experience the new ones being made for the 100th anniversary. A mini-series from the writer and creator of Downton Abbey that is airing in Canada and the UK and eventually the US, as well as another mini-series, Titanic Blood and Steel, that is yet to find a home. You might also want to check out the first big Titanic film, 1958's A Night to Remember, a very highly regarded film from the UK that focuses more on the ship as a whole than a star-crossed romance. But audiences do love romance. Did Jack and Rose still captivate? Let's go find out. Is this your first time seeing Titanic?
No.
No? Was it worth seeing it on the big screen?
Yes.
It's like my 10th.
Really?
Yeah, I always, every time they show it in TV or in, this is my first time in the theater.
No.
Wow, so what made you go and see it in theaters today?
Well, we thought it would be better in IMAX, so we went to go see it together.
Was it?
It was the same, sort of.
How was the 3D? Because, you know, James Cameron likes to make fun of other people's 3D. How was his?
On some parts, it doesn't show 3D, but then again, it does show the 3D.
Because it was in 3D, we thought it was going to be like, but yeah, we could have saw it at home.
How was the 3D?
It wasn't really 3D.
Some parts were kind of not 3D, like, you know, it was just whatever, you kind of forgot it was 3D, but some parts were pretty cool. Like, you felt like you were there at some parts.
Were you bummed sitting there where you were like, aw?
No, because the movie's great every time, so it's still fabulous.
Yeah. Was it worth your money seeing it in 3D, or you would have just seen it in 2D on the big screen?
I don't know. For Titanic, it was worth every penny.
Do you like the Jack and Rose romance?
Yes.
My favorite part.
I mean, they need to have like a main plot point, you know?
Emotional hook.
Definitely, yeah, because then what, you know, that's what we go to see. Like, it's a movie, come on.
They make fun about the last part where she's holding on to him. That's the most romantic part right there.
Oh, that's true.
When I saw it the first time, I was like 13 maybe, but I didn't get it at first time. But when I saw it the second time, I got emotional, and I don't know. You love it.
What do you say to somebody who goes, this movie's 15 years old, it's over 3 hours, why should I pay to see it again in theaters when I can rent the Blu-ray?
Because a movie is meant to be seen in theaters, and Titanic is like the most epic, one of the most epic movies ever made.
I say why not, because it's the whole experience that counts. So if you go see it in theaters, it's great, but you can also see it at home.
What do you give this movie on a 1 to 10? On your 10th viewing, what do you give it on a 1 to 10?
Sure, 10.
More than 10.
An 8.
An 8?
7.5.
10. I have to. It's Titanic. I'm sorry.
So while the 3D might not have been spectacular, audiences continue to have their heart go on for Titanic, overall giving this re-release a 9. I'm Grace Randolph reporting from Regal Ewok, and I hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.